Hello, everybody. It's your boy King Quarry here to deliver what I feel are the good, the bad, and the ugly of X-Men 97, episode To Me and My X-Men Parts 1 and 2. Before we get started, I just want to warn you that there will be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't watched the first two episodes, I highly recommend you do. While I do have a lot of thoughts on them, overall, I think it was a good experience without giving too much away. So for the rest of you who stayed, who's ready for the spoilers, or who already knows what's going to happen, let's get right into it. So starting off with the good here, most of the voices in the series were decent. I absolutely loved Beast's voice, as the voice actor was actually able to come back and reprise their role as Beast. So there was no change at all. I liked Cyclops, Jean, Storm, and Gambit's voices. The other voices I'll talk about in the other sections. I really liked the art style, the vibrant colors, the outfits, and their faithfulness to the old designs of the characters. And this actually went on to not only the main cast, but also to reoccurring background character designs for anti-mutant, I guess, separatists, or not cultists, but yeah, you know what I mean. So that really, solidified things for me, as this not being just a reboot, but this being a true continuation. I also love the art style, the 2D, 3D look, which apparently I just found out was 2D animated the whole time, which blows my mind. And shout out to Studio Mirror, who oversaw this process. They did an excellent job. Absolutely loved how things came out. I love the faithfulness to the characters from the dialogue standpoint as well, especially the way Gambit, Storm, and Rogue speak in particular, with all of their very unique characteristics shining through in their dialogue. I really enjoyed the opening, though part of me wishes they would have kept the old tune. I really liked the foreshadowing that they put into the opening. And I know they were missing one of the grunt bad characters, but that was such a small thing I didn't even notice it. So I thought they did an excellent job with that. I loved the look of the Blackbird. Oh, and also with the opening, I loved all the title cards for the characters. I loved Magneto connecting to the Morlocks and utilizing Genosha as a safe place, a safe haven for them to go to. I also love the interrogation of Sykes, I believe it was. That was really great. I just double checked, and it was for Gyrick. I wasn't aware of the anti-mutant character's name at that point, but I just double checked. But yeah, I love that scene and the impact that it had. I thought they did an excellent job with it. I loved Morph becoming their old look when they went in public. I absolutely was a big fan of Morph becoming other mutants as a form of cameos, while also utilizing their abilities and also giving us some extra content to sort of nibble on. Because when we first saw Lady Deathstrike come out of nowhere and attack, I thought, wait, is she here? And then I realized, and I was like, oh, that was so cool the way they did that. It was also very reminiscent of Spiral from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. She has a hyper where she becomes all these different characters all across the roster. And so it reminded me of that. I thought that was really, really awesome. I enjoyed them revisiting Jean and Storm's closeness in their relationship. Oh, I forgot to mention that I enjoyed the cameos, specifically of Colossus the most, and Archangel, out of everyone that we had. But we also had Lady Deathstrike and Blob. I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anyone. Please feel free to let me know in the comments below if I am forgetting anyone. But yeah, I really loved what they did with that. And yeah, I enjoyed Magneto's talk with Rogue. him explaining the bit about the helmet and his intentions in depth, even though it seems like there's a weird connection between the two of them. I love Jubilee sort of connecting to Sunspot over the fact that she was in the exact same predicament that he currently is in, and her being like, hey, we're actually pretty cool, like, I think you could benefit from being around us, and sort of playing that role that she once needed. I thought that was a really cool, like, not a 360, but like a really cool full circle moment. I love that the Sentinels said Omega level threat detected when Storm came on the scene, which I don't remember if that happened in the original series because it's been quite some time. Could just be my memory not quite remembering it accurately. So yeah, if you happen to know, please let me know in the comments. I also love the brotherly connection between Morph and Wolverine. I overall loved the faithfulness to the source material. Having Jean showing up at the end of the second episode. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I absolutely was really surprised at the dope Cyclops descent from the air. I'm not even a Cyclops fan like that, but he did a good job. Cool factor was definitely A1 in that scene. Alright, so getting into the bad. I wish that the dialogue had evolved just a little bit, though I'm glad it stuck with this 90s style. There's just some points where I felt like, was that scene truly necessary, or how would that work, you know, currently or today? But obviously it's set in the 90s, so it's really just me being a little bit nitpicky. I disliked Bishop's new voice. I really liked his old one, though not everybody can come back and give us a 75-year-old reprising their voice like they did with the Beast voice actor. I also disliked Magneto's voice. It felt like it was missing something to me. I thought it was technically okay, but after them doing such a cool job with his voice actor from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I'll allow you to hear that here.
Gravity squeeze!
I really wish that he was available and was able to reprise his role. Again, just like I wished Steve Blum was able to come back, just like for Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Wolverine and the X-Men for his voice, though we're gonna get to his voice in the ugly portion, unfortunately. I disliked Magneto's new outfit. I think it'd be better if it didn't have a giant M on it, though I know it's a callback to the series source material, so I can't really hate on it much. It's not a huge deal. I like the idea of the Sentinel Mega Man like blasters. I just felt like they could have been executed a little better. Maybe they could have had like a sight on them or something else to make them just look a little more like a weapon and not just like the Blue Bomber's robotic arm cannon. Alright, so getting into the ugly. I really did not like these characters using their abilities in public when they were at the club. I don't know, it just felt so weird. It felt forced to me. It also felt like, what are you doing? Like, I know that you guys are technically X-Men and you're in costume and stuff, but we could definitely avoid bringing extra attention to ourselves. And that's exactly kind of what ended up happening, if memory serves. Even though I watched this episode the day it came out, it's been a few days. I still hate Wolverine's voice. There are times he sounds like his old self, but there are other times where he sounds like a bad impersonator. While I didn't hate her voice, I feel similarly about Rogue's voice sometimes. It hits other times and other times it misses. There's a few scenes where Cyclops' head hardly moves while aiming his laser in different directions. It's a nitpick, but it's just what I saw. You know, gotta be a little critical with these things. I absolutely hated how Storm lost her powers. It really bugged me how she left too. Again, I know this is connected to the source material, even though I wasn't like conscious and like awake or alive when these comics originally came out. I know that this is accurate, but it still doesn't take away how much it bothered me, just because I was so excited to see her more and more. And I know she's more likely to come back, more than likely to come back. And there's a bigger arc planned for her, I'm sure. But she's just one of my favorites. And especially like seeing another character of color, especially, you know, a goddess, a queen like Storm. I really wish that didn't happen in the comics or in the show, but yeah, I know it's, again, me being a little bit nitpicky. So in conclusion, I'm going to give this an 8.5. Between some of the bad and the ugly for me, even though with it being very source material accurate, I might not love all the outcomes, but overall I really enjoyed this. I feel like this should be the new blueprint moving forward. Many failed reboots and continuations could avoid a lot of mistakes and missteps if they follow this type of model. I don't know why it took us so long to just have something that was faithful to the source material. Even with the X-Men movies, that was a huge problem for me with a lot of them. They just weren't handled with care for the source material in a lot of cases. So please give me your thoughts and what you think in the comments below. Feel free to give me comments on my thoughts as well if you like. Speaking of likes, please give me a like, a comment, and a subscription. Yeah, I appreciate you for staying to this part of the video. You're all awesome. Have a great day. King Quarry signing off. Peace.
Don't give up. Challenge again.